What's up, everyone? Welcome. It's Friday, which means another hour with me. And I do have a guest tonight, so it's going to be pretty interesting to say the least. I want to apologize for yesterday as I really didn't know the product. So I apologize to Chef Sandos for that. So it is Friday, so the weekend is here. Thank God. Maybe for you, but for me, I still have to work. So not too happy about that, but that's all right. Oh well, life goes on, right? So welcome if you are watching with Facebook Live or on YouTube. We're also live on YouTube as well. I really don't get over to YouTube as much as I would like to, but I know that we have followers and I appreciate it. So don't forget to like and subscribe as well. So I'm just waiting for people. I have absolutely no one. I'm very surprised. And I am live. Well, anyways, I'm going to be talking to a food blogger, Blaise Ramsay, and you can find her on Instagram because that's where it is. Hello, welcome, Ashley. You're the first one here. What's happening? By following Jazzy Gator Grill, that is her Instagram. So you can follow her and see all her fantastic dishes that she has done. She takes pictures of everything. All the food looks fantastic. So another reason why I would like to talk to her. She loves talking about food. And what better way to talk about food than have someone who loves to talk about it? So yeah. Ashley, I didn't even have to remind you today that I had a show. I reminded Kayla, but I don't see her. Oh, thanks. My hat. Yeah. Oops. Yeah, my hat. Thanks. What's up? I usually don't wear hats, so this is something new for me. Doesn't even look like it's on right. There we go. Oh, I don't even know. Why'd you have to mention it, Ash? Now I'm going to be playing with it till I know it's right. All right, it's right. Wow, you're the only one here. This is stinky poo poo because all these other people are supposed to be on. Oh, well, I'm glad that you are getting the notifications that the show is on. Where is my grandmother? Where is my aunt? Where is everyone? Yeah. Well, anyways, so besides Facebook and YouTube, you can also listen to the show. You don't necessarily have to watch the show. So I am also on podcast sites as well. So usually after a recording, the show gets processed and it goes straight to wherever. Oh, there's another person. Daniel Payne, hello, welcome. You're number two. Number two, Dan. Everyone is slowly coming on. Chris, welcome. Welcome. I was just letting everyone know what's happening, who is on the show. Welcome. You guys are all late. Late. So, yeah. Welcome to my grandmother. I just got done visiting my grandmother, my aunts. So it was a good day. So welcome. The usual suspects are piling in as we speak. So anyways, so like I was saying tonight, I hope to be speaking with Blaise Ramsay. I believe that is her name. I hope that that's how you pronounce her name. And she's going to be talking about all about food because that's what she loves to talk about is food. So I'm interested. I don't know if there's any cookbooks attached to her. I don't know exactly. She's a food blogger. So She loves food. So, and that's what she does. And that's what we're going to talk about. So, welcome, Daniel Payton. Oh, I need to start putting these up so I can actually read them. I shared this with an announcement for my show tonight. That's right. Cross promotion, Daniel. Very smart. Daniel has a show right after mine, 9 o'clock on Facebook. So I encourage everyone to watch it. Yeah. I do not believe that I'm going to be running late tonight. I hope I'm not going to be running late tonight. So I didn't last night. Last night's show was kind of different. I'll be honest. I don't think the show went very well. I appreciated her coming onto the show. And I enjoyed talking with her and learning, about what she was coming on for. But I was confused and about how the email came to me. I thought we were talking about the history of the guy, I didn't even know she worked for them, and that she made all this food and stuff like that. So it was I didn't know where to go with the interview. So I apologize if it kind of felt weird or there was a lot of silence. I don't like silence, and that's not the way that you normally would do a show. You have to keep talking, unfortunately. That's the name of the game in the podcast world. You don't want silence. But anyways, so I apologize. There she is. She is here. She's waiting for me. So, but anyways, yeah, so again, I apologize last night. And don't forget, you guys chose food as the topic. I have never talked about food on this show. This is my first go around with that topic. So, yeah, it's been interesting to say the least. So I hope that everyone learned something last night from her. So yeah, but I'm pretty sure you'll learn something tonight. So she looks ready to go, all happy. So, and I like that in guests. So yeah. Well, thanks for the share, Dan. Don't forget to share and like this video. Everyone needs to see this video. There's no reason why you shouldn't. You just shouldn't. You should watch me all the time. That's usually how it goes. So I've already given. Now, I've been saying Blaise. Is that how you pronounce your name? Is it Blaise? See, I can't. Oh, I'm going to bring her on because I'm talking to her and I can't hear you. Hey, how are you?
Hi.
I'm bringing you on a little early. I have been saying Blaise. Is that how you say it?
It's Blaise, like a flame.
Blaise. Okay, Blaise.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Blaise. Is it Ramsay?
Yes, it is.
I got that part right. For some reason, I have been getting so many guests with names that I have just not been able to pronounce. And I have been just horrible at it. So, yeah. All right. Blaise.
It's okay.
Ramsay. So, yeah. Well, anyways, welcome.
Hi.
Early. So, thanks for coming on. Like I said, food has been an untouched topic since I've done this. So they wanted to talk food to see what type of people I can come on to have on the show that have recipes or cookbooks or like food. And according to everything, you love food. You love talking about it.
I do.
Yeah, I have followed you on Instagram. I've seen all of your pictures and all the food looks good.
It's fun. I do enjoy it. It's kind of a passion of mine and has been for many years. So I'm glad you like the photos.
Yeah. So the one thing that sticks out the most, and who was I talking to? I was talking to my sister on the phone, and I'm like, yeah, she's got an Instagram. I said, you know what? Let me go on there because I think I haven't followed her yet. So I noticed that every dish in the picture is on a paper plate.
Yes, it is.
So is that on purpose? I think it's done on purpose.
It is. It's because I'm a mom, obviously. I've got two rambunctious little munchkins that run around the house. So as you can imagine, dishes kind of get stacked. So we kind of decided, you know what, to save some time, save some money and stuff like that, we decided to go with paper plates. And it really helps because they're compostable. So it's kind of a win-win for my plants, and nobody has to do dishes. So
There you go. Yeah, I kind of noticed that right off the bat. I was looking at all the pictures. I'm like, wow, they're all on paper plates. I wonder if she did that on purpose.
oh yes.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So obviously you like to cook.
Oh yeah, it's been in my life for, oh my gosh, since I was it was very interesting how I started cooking. Um, it started when I was in high school, and my mom taught me a few recipes. And I decided, I suddenly just, connected with it because it was something that brought people together.
Mhm.
And I started noticing a trend. And every time I would go out of town, my grandmother, we're from a country family, so my grandmother's like constantly, she's like, I need you to make your famous beef stew. So she always had me make enough beef stew for when I left, she could have it for like a week solid. And my mom actually was like, every time I go over to her house now, she has me cook my from scratch chicken and dumplings every single time that I go over there. So it has been in my life probably, oh wow, since for about 15, 16 years now. And I have taken a long time to develop a flavor palette. So I've literally become like the little rat from Ratatouille, where I can just sniff what it is and tell you what you need to put in and what you need to keep out of there. So it took a long time, but I discovered that I really loved cooking, and it's a relaxing thing for me. My kids love it, and it's become kind of a family thing for us.
Has any of this cooking did you ever think about a cookbook or anything? Do you have a cookbook?
No, see, I get asked this a lot, and my
Okay.
family is like, "Do you have recipe cards?" Or see, the reason that I don't is because I'm all about taste.
Okay.
So I can honestly start with a base, and then I'll go into the fact of, okay, this doesn't taste right, so I'll add more or less. So I have tried keeping notes in the past, but it just changes every time I make it.
Right. Okay.
So by the time I would publish a cookbook, the recipe would have already changed into something else. So it's like I have been asked, but it's just like I wish I could, but I don't have a recipe card for it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I couldn't remember if there was like a book listed or not, and I said, no, I don't think there is. I don't know. Okay, so we just make the food and we take pictures of it and we post it on Instagram. So that works too. So obviously the holidays are a big time for you.
Yes, they are. I actually was talking to my mom on the phone the other day, and I was like, okay, I plan like a couple of months in advance because I am a person who uses non-GMO and
Mhm.
organic stuff. So naturally, when I go to get a turkey, it has to. Sometimes I'll have to order it, or sometimes I'll have to go to a specialized store to go get this turkey because of special dietary needs. So I do it a month ahead of time for both, and sometimes I shop for both. Now, what's become a big thing in my family is at Thanksgiving, everybody wants a turkey, and Christmas time, everybody wants duck. So I'm making two different kinds of duck and turkey on those alternating things on those alternating days, and it's really interesting because I've never made duck before. But my father, who is also a very good chef, gave me the biggest compliments. Like, you have the most moist duck I've ever seen and ever tasted. So I was like, oh my God, for my father to say that, I must be doing something right.
Well, I would think that people requesting your food in general means that it must be tasting right. So, and they want more of it. I think we all have that person in the family, that one person that loves to cook, and we would always ask for their special dish or whatever. So, yeah, I love those people in my family. So, because of COVID, I'm pretty sure your cooking has amped up even more.
Oh yeah. My wonderful husband surprised me with my pride and joy. It was a pit boss smoker for Mother's Day.
Oh.
And I was like, you really just made a mistake, because I am going to use this thing. When it gets cool outside, I'm going to be using this thing every single weekend. So yes, since COVID has happened, I have been doing a lot more home cooking. And of course, for when we go out, we have leftovers. I will use those and cook something else completely new out of them. So
Right.
yes, since COVID has started, I am definitely going to say that my cooking has increased, because it's a stress relief for me, and it's that time where I can put my little earbuds in and listen to music and just sink into my own little world.
Right.
And it helps with anxiety and stuff like that too. So.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. I never thought of it that way. So that's very interesting. Do you have favorite recipes that possibly you don't change yourself? You keep it the same?
Oh my goodness. My absolute favorite recipes are in the holidays, when I do baking almost every weekend. So when it gets cool, I break out my pumpkin. Like, I will actually be that person that carves the pumpkin and makes fresh pumpkin pie filling from those pie pumpkins. And that my pumpkin pie has never changed, save for the time my mom decided on the day before Thanksgiving, can you make a pumpkin cheesecake? And
Oh,
I was like,
way to
Mom,
go, Mom. Yeah.
I was like, Mom, you realize that Thanksgiving's tomorrow, but I was able to pull it off. And but my pumpkin pie recipe, my pumpkin bread recipe,
Mhm.
my pumpkin pancakes, and a lot of my apple pumpkin recipes stay pretty consistent. They don't change, simply because they become kind of a tradition.
Understandable. Yeah, I love anything pumpkin and I love anything apple. So yeah, this is my time of the year, and it's happening now. I mean, I don't know where you are, but where I am in Massachusetts, fall is here. The leaves are changing. There's pumpkins everywhere. Um, so yeah, it's the perfect time. I love fall up here. So yeah, I'm just wondering, can you see the comments?
No, sorry, I'm on private chat. Okay, there we go.
Okay, there you are. So this is the other reason why I love using this program, is because you can also see the comments coming in from either YouTube or Facebook. So if they have questions and I don't see them right away, sometimes the guest is paying attention more than I am. So yeah. So if anyone has any questions, I'm opening up the floor. Anything food related, and don't forget, I already posted her Instagram, Jazzy Gator Grill.
Yep, a Jazzy Gator girl.
So don't forget to follow her if you're on Instagram, because I know a couple of you people are on Instagram because you follow me. So yeah, make sure you follow.
No, yes, Amber, I do make ham. My husband loves ham. He actually prefers ham over turkey. So I actually have a specialized glaze that I personally make that is my own recipe for that ham. I do not store buy glaze. So definitely there's always ham at our table.
Awesome, awesome. I didn't even see that question come up, so I think you're going to see questions before me. But anyways, all right, good. So ask away. I love ham. See, I have ham for. Is it Christmas? Do I have ham for Christmas? Yeah, I have a Christmas ham. I don't have duck. I've never had duck.
It's an interesting meat. It really is. You have to make it perfectly, or else it is incredibly dry, like shoe leather. It can easily become shoe leather if you're not careful with how you prepare it. Um, for my duck, it literally takes me 72 hours to prepare a duck and a turkey properly, to make sure that the meat is moist enough for it to even go into the roaster. So I start at least 3 days ahead of time before even going to Thanksgiving for my duck, or Christmas for my duck, and Thanksgiving for the turkey.
Wow.
Yes, spiral ham, definitely. Is there any other? Definitely spiral ham.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, and you also do sustainable, healthy eating.
Oh yes, I will not buy anything if it does not say sustainable, non-GMO, or organic, or anything like that. I will not touch anything that does not have free range, or things, or cage free, or
Mhm.
things like that. I have educated myself so deep into that world that I actually grow my own herbs. So I don't even use store-bought herbs. I use my own herbs, and I've also just made my own pickled peppers that are very popular in my family. Um, so I do a lot of homemade pickling and jams. My jams are really popular during the holidays. Chutneys. I'm very popular for my chutneys. My mom actually made it to where that was on the menu. She's like, "Oh my god, you are making your chutney right this year?" And I'm like, "Absolutely, I'm making my chutney." So I do. Yeah, a lot of my stuff is everything that I use is non-GMO, organic. I won't touch anything that's not.
Absolutely. Have you ever thought of selling this stuff?
I have been asked. Right now, I'm so busy. My husband and I run a publishing company out of our house. So
Oh,
right now our business is pretty busy because authors are coming out of the woodwork because of
yes.
COVID.
Yeah.
So I don't technically have time to build a business around my canning and things like that, simply because so much time is taken by the publishing
Right.
company.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have been asked, but right now they're really just gifts because it makes, especially nowadays, it makes people smile and it
Sure.
gets them through. So I have not yet. I have been asked, but I have not. Maybe soon, and hopefully when everything calms down, I might, because we are going to be making, we are looking into making homemade candles for people like me who cannot stand harsh scents.
Okay.
So we are looking into expanding to. I knew if I said something about that, I'd probably get a question. I always do. But we are looking into candles, soaps, things like that. So we are
Uh,
out here in the small town sticks, so we're in a good place to do it.
yeah, absolutely. Daniel Payton, excuse me, is a fellow author and a friend, and has been on the show multiple times. So I knew that at some point he would be saying something. What kind of books do you publish?
We are actually very wide. We do fiction of romance, horror. We do YA fantasy. We do high fantasy. So we're pretty open about what we'll accept. Um, we've grown so much, our submissions are actually closed, save for events on Twitter. So that's the only time we're ever really looking. But those are the kind of books that we do publish. Right now, we haven't really published any picture books or nonfiction books, simply because we haven't met those authors that want those. But it is something we will explore.
Awesome, awesome.
And cookbooks, we will print cookbooks.
There you go. Yeah, cookbooks are always good things too. Yeah. Wow, I did not know that about you. That's awesome that you publish books. So, yeah. Any other questions at all, people? You all guys always wait until the end of the show. That's usually what happens. They all it's over with, and then they start remembering questions. So, has anyone ever said that was horrible? I did not enjoy that. I didn't like it.
For my food,
Yeah,
honestly,
I
no.
didn't think so. Okay, I
I've
would have.
never.
I always ask. I've been asking that question, and the response is like, "What? No." So that's good. Okay.
I've had failed recipes that I would never serve to anyone but my dog, but I have not. I have not. My dog appreciated those, but I've had failed recipes, but I've never served them to my public, as you would say. But no, no one's ever really said I don't like this per se. I've had this might be a little bit more juicy, or
Mhm.
things like that, and most of those times it's like I knew that would be a thing because I didn't like it, but at the same time I had to feed somebody, so it's like, well,
Right. Absolutely. So, what was the first dish that you made that made you think, I actually enjoy doing this? Do you
Believe it or not, it was my beef stew. It was my homemade Scotch beef stew
remember that
that
is the
got
one?
me started. It's the one that got me started, and it's precious to me because it came during a really rough time in
Mm,
my life. So cooking has been a saving grace, I guess you could say, which is another reason why it's such an important part. And of course, as a mom, I've got my daughter who likes to likes to cook alongside me. She just asked us so we could make our homemade pickles. So I'm like, okay, so we're making our own homemade pickles.
No. As long as it works.
No, we didn't talk about serving dog food. I think food that I would serve to my dog.
I don't know
because I messed it up so bad. But no, I wouldn't.
Sandy, I don't know. Yeah, no, we never mentioned that. Sorry. So
it's okay.
So is it more than just the Instagram? Is your blog anywhere else besides that?
No, Jazzy is actually just an Instagram hobby. It's kind of a lifestyle blog for myself. As if you look through it, you'll see that I do have pictures of my dog. I have pictures of me sitting in my backyard. So it's kind of my lifestyle / food blog for me. When I do have a new dish put on the table, that I try to post when I have photos. That hasn't been a lot lately because, of course, with online schooling and all that, it's been kind of it's been kind of busy. So I have not had a lot of chances to post anything really new. But when I do, I definitely try to post it up.
So are you making recipes and then just taking the pictures and putting it on Instagram, or is that what you're making for dinner and you're taking a picture of it and showing people what you make?
Both, actually. It's a mix. Sometimes I'll make it for dinner, and sometimes I'll be like, "Well, this is really pretty. I'm going to put this up." But otherwise, it's just really what I feel like putting up there, and be like chilling in the backyard with a margarita, or playing with my dog, hanging out with my dog, bonfire night, So.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures. So yeah. What was my next question? Oh shoot. Uh-oh. I can't think of my next question. It'll come to me. It will come to me. Jenna says hello. Nice to see you. Welcome. Thanks for stopping by.
Okay, go ahead, Sandy.
I'm almost scared.
Oh, it's all right.
Well, we'll wait I know that there's a delay when it comes to Facebook Live, so her question will pop up probably in just a minute. So, but then again, it's also giving me the time to think of my next question, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, terrible.
It's okay. I don't mind. I can ramble on about food as long as you wanted me to. So.
Well, we know the reason why you love food. I love food too. I noticed in the pictures, like you do, there was a main dish and then there was a bunch of sides. And how do you just plan this out, or you think to yourself, what's going to go good with this meat or something? What size should I use?
That is, it's actually a mix. What I have kind of an internal thing. I used to watch Chopped. Okay. I loved Chopped. I used to compare what I could do with my flavor palette with Chopped. And I would take ideas from those. That is an interesting question. So I would take ideas from those, and I would always, when I would be such in that zone, when I would get in that zone, I would always get asked, okay, so when you're cooking the steak, you have to flip it now, or else Alex Guarnacelli is going to be over your shoulder saying that's overcooked. That's overcooked. So I would create my own coach chef over my shoulder by watching Chop so much. I felt like I started to know them. So I would know how they react when I did what I did, and I would time myself. Like I even would time myself on my phone and see if I could beat the Chop time. So
really?
Yeah, it became a little challenge for myself, but that's how that's where that started. And yes, I'm like, okay, so they make this type of meat. This side has to go with this meat. Otherwise, those flavors are going to clash. Or if I'm going for a theme, like I would like to go with a Mediterranean theme tonight, I have to make sure that these spices are what I use, and I don't go off into Texas West style. Lately, I've liked to make a lot of pub food, like Irish pub food. So I'll be like, okay, so what is the key staple in Irish pub food? And I would make make dishes based on that. So it's really hours of studying and watching other chefs and giving myself that internal coach that says, okay, what goes good with this food and how much are you supposed to serve? So that's how I did that. So to answer your question, Sandy, well, Genesis, yes, I technically am, but professionally, no, I'm not. I am someone who does get asked for dishes that are expected to be delivered at certain times of the year. Like for Thanksgiving, it's my chutney and my turkey. For Christmas, and pumpkin pie, of course. For Christmas, it's my gingerbread men. Those are demanded. People have actually started saying, hey, are you going to make those this year? So yes, technically, I always like to tell myself I am a chef, because once you put yourself in that mindset, you'll start thinking about it that way. And yes, so I always like to call myself a chef. I do. Sandy, your question is, I have been writing books for about 3 years now. So let's see. I always like to do this disclaimer because I am a professional ghostwriter. So I always get asked, why have you only published 4 books? Well, because I've written 20 plus for other clients. So yes, I've been writing for 3 years, but in those 3 years, I have dished out numerous titles. So I always like to put that out there. And honestly, why I wanted to write books, I started in the indie gaming industry. I did concept art and design, character design for 15 years of my life.
Where is all this coming from?
From my little book of secrets, I guess. So I spent that much time, and then I started feeling a void. And out of nowhere, I wrote a short story out of my love for Studio Ghibli's work. And it earned an award on the website I posted it for. So I started thinking, well, maybe I have a future in this. So I started dabbling, and a good friend of mine, and she will always be the one responsible for me starting my writing, got me started on my first novel, Blessing of Luna. And it's the poster right behind me. Well, partially behind me. And that started my book empire. Now, I have since I have honed in on everything, I have started becoming what's known as a rapid release author. What that means is that I have a book written a month. It goes to my editor. I already have a release date, so they are constantly getting released. So next year, I'm looking to probably have 2 to 4 of my own titles released within that next year.
Awesome. I do like my meat well done.
I like it well done too. I cannot stand it when the judges like it bleeding. It's like, I don't understand. It's got that kind of coppery taste to it, and I cannot stand rare meat. I don't know. It's pretty. Don't get me wrong. I love that contrast, but you bite into it, there's this coppery, bloody taste, and it's just like, oof. I was not born part vampire, so I like my meat well done.
Yeah. I love cheeseburgers. I love hamburgers. I love hamburger in general. But when I go out, when they ask, how would you like the burger cooked? Dead, please. I don't want to see no pink, because it's just, or any blood. And I don't eat steak either, which is weird.
You don't eat steak?
No. But I'll eat like a steakum or steakum grinder, or I'll eat it in other form, but I don't like it just a slab of it sitting on the plate. It does nothing for me. I know it's strange, but
no, me being me, I can't have too much red meat. So I have learned the value of chicken, turkey, fish. So
no fish for me.
Steelhead trout. I didn't think I'd like it either, but I came across one that has become my favorite fish because it does not have that fishy taste. It's called steelhead trout, and it literally does not. I don't taste fish when I eat it. It's delicious when you put it in the Pit Boss smoker, and it gets that nice smoky flavor, and it's flaky. And I don't taste I've eaten salmon and then I've eaten trout, and I'm just wondering if maybe it's just me, but no. Once you eat steelhead, you do not taste the fish. I've never tasted fish when I eat steelhead, ever.
Never heard of it. I'll have to try it, because
it's delicious.
I don't eat fish, unfortunately. I love seafood, but I just for some fish never really. Yeah, no, nope, never interest me. But I'll eat tuna fish and fish sticks. So it's really weird. So, oh, Sandy, what are we saying now? I have experienced myself to write poems and songs because I wanted to be a poet, but also want to be a singer. Oh, now we want to be a singer. Billy S. wanted me to do something like that for his camera work and to write poems. Feelings and body language. Oh, all right. Well, good for you, Sandy.
Oh, I can't either. See, I don't. I can't do that either.
Well, that is not part of healthy eating there. So, yes, I completely understand that. You are not allowed to do Burger King. And so I'm assuming you don't eat any fast food. Do you eat anything? No, you.
I do, but it's very
What?
selective. Yes,
Oh.
I do. It's very selective.
The healthy stuff?
Yes, I do break every once in a while because you get a craving. But I find that after I do it, I am absolutely miserable. So
what is the secret? Which one is it? What is it?
it's actually one here in our town. There's two. There's here in our town. It's called Powerhouse Burger, and they make actual Angus beef burgers that are fresh made. So, and then there's one called Leo's Pizzeria, and they are run by actual Italian people who make it the old Italian way. Like you can tell that they have recipes that have been passed down, and they are sharing it. They're both in our hometown, and those are the only ones I'll break for.
Okay, so local made food.
Local meat food.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. Well, unfortunately, those places are very hard to come by. A lot of them are closing, like family restaurants. We just had a couple of them close here in our town. So all that's left is Burger King, McDonald's. We have Pizza Hut. We have Chinese food. That's a family-run business. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So I wish there was that family restaurant kind of feel around these parts. Steak. Full, I love steak. I'm pretty sure lots of people love steak. So I apologize. I am not against steak. I just choose not to eat it. So
I'm from Texas. It's kind of an expectation.
you know what? And I'm pretty sure that if I had lived in this is what happened last night, because last night's guest came on to talk about Tony, I want to say Cherie's seasonings. Have you ever heard of this?
Tony, sure. I know Tony's seasonings. I have some of his Cajun stuff on my list right now. So.
Okay, so yeah, it's red and green and white or whatever. He's got all types. All right, I'm over this because what happened last night is I had never heard of it, and I think I might have offended her. So I had Chef Gay Sandos, who apparently works for Tony's. It does all their marketing and cooks the food with the seasoning, and she was talking about the seasoning. I had never tried it, bought it, didn't even know anything about it. And I was telling my sister, I said, well, I noticed that she likes Creole food on her Instagram. It says it right there. And I was like, if I ask her if she knows about this seasoning or whatever, and she says yes, I'm done. I'm just done.
Yes, I love Creole. If you really want to know my affinity for food cooking, it is Creole Texan. So it is literally putting barbecue and Creole in the same place.
Really?
And getting that nice char. Getting that char is key to anything barbecue and Creole. If you don't get that char in your meat, it's like, no, thank you.
I knew that there was a spin on food anywhere as you go in the United States. We all eat food differently. So, but just straight up Creole food was just not an option for me. So I just didn't understand it. She was like, have you ever had jambalaya and gumbo and all this stuff? I'm like, nope, Never tried it, never wanted to. I apologize. And she just couldn't believe it. But yours sounds good.
I don't go straight anything. Like, I won't go straight Creole. I won't go straight barbecue. I won't go like straight anything. It's always a matter of how can I put, and this is the truth of it, how can I put a Celtic twist on it? Now, that is embedded on my spiritual practice. I always like to put in the fact that, because I always get this question too, so don't be surprised if you do get a blown up question, because I am a practicing druid. So I put it.
See that somewhere. Yes, I did.
I wasn't hiding it.
No, that's okay.
So I always.
What is that? Can you explain?
That's the question I always get.
Yeah. You think you know what it is until you actually do talk to somebody who actually is. So, for those who don't know,
we often get confused with Wiccans. We are not Wiccans. As a matter of fact, we're actually not classified as pagans. We are actually just very, very earth-based. We are very we're very home-based. Like, we have sacred islands, we have sacred spaces, whereas many Wiccans don't really have a home base. Like, they are nature practicing. And I have quite a few of my kin that are that way, but they don't really we have sacred sites like Stonehenge. We have the island of Iona. So the biggest thing between us is we have a more centralized history, I guess you could say. We are often confused. We are very close to Wiccans, but we are not Wiccans. It's very hard to explain unless you came and saw one of us doing what we do. Like, here recently, the autumn solstice, the autumn equinox happened. I always say that. I don't know why, but the autumn equinox happened. So for me, for a practicing druid, it actually starts the day before. So I am going all the way through that day to the next day, and food is very, very important. So a druid is actually very nature and earth based. We are very focused on coinciding with the earth. We are very centralized in what we're supposed to be protecting. And while we do have a basis of, I guess, Wiccanism in our organization, I guess, I'm not even sure what you could call us, but many of us do our own growing. We're good at animal husbandry. So we are actually very permaculture based and sustainable based. We're very aware of how our carbon footprint affects the earth. So that's usually what I say when we are compared to Wiccans, because while Wiccans do have a lot of what we do, we have a more centralized, I want to say, from what my mentor said, we have a lot of more centralized ways of doing things. So a few of my kin on the Wiccan side will tell me, it's like, yeah, we have a space in the forest we like to go get together, but we don't have like a monument or a specific Arthurian character or legend that we actually centralize around. Whereas for us, we've got Taliesin, we've got Merlin, we've got Cernunnos, there's a lot of focus on Cernunnos and the triple goddess and things like that. So for me and my food, and how that goes into my food, is I will often take the time to do some druidry before even doing food. So I always put a Celtic twist into it. And because of my druidry, I actually have days of the year where cooking is actually just a part of it. So it's making food and coming together, and so they kind of coincide with one another. So I hope that kind of answers your question, because it is a difficult one to kind of answer that doesn't sound kind of crazy.
No, it perfectly does. It does, yeah.
Oh, I love shepherd's pie. I don't ever make it traditionally, but I love shepherd's pie. I really, really do.
So speaking of shepherd's pie, I'm going to ask you this, because my mother-in-law makes shepherd's pie, and I love her shepherd's pie. But she makes it different, and I know that everyone makes it different. So I'm going to ask you, how do you make shepherd's pie?
That's a good question.
If you had to, now I'm assuming the traditional way you're speaking of is the potatoes, the hamburger and the corn, right?
We use corned beef.
Oh, oh, yeah, you lost me there too. I don't eat corned beef. Um,
Corned beef and cabbage is really key in Irish dishes. So
I know it is. I'm supposed to eat it myself, but I don't.
I'm supposed to eat it.
But well, yeah, because the rest of my family will eat it, but I just don't like the texture. I don't like the texture or the taste of it. But yet, here's the weird thing: I love corned beef hash.
That's what we use, corned beef hash. Sometimes corned beef hash, sometimes straight smoked corned beef that we've smoked ourselves and then put like sliced up and crumbled up and put into it. I try to make mine more like a roast than shepherd's pie. So
Okay.
it kind of is like an open-ended roast more than a shepherd's pie, but I like to make that one too. It's delicious. I just made one actually here recently.
So my question is, if you had to make it the traditional way, would you use kerneled corn or would you use cream of corn?
Kerneled. I love the texture of
Thank you.
kerneled.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Unfortunately, she does not make it that way. We use cream of corn. Yeah. So, but it's still good. It really is. Everyone loves shepherd's pie. So,
Yeah, I put a little scorch on it first. I'll put it in the skillet and then kind of get that little Mexican burn on it. I like to call it a Mexican burn. I don't know what it's called. So it turns into a char, and then you put it in there. So you've got that nice taste of that olive oil char or avocado oil char, and then you put it in there. So that adds to the flavor. I prefer to use bone broth over any kind of cream base simply because it's got a richer flavor, and cream typically tends to kind of wither down a little bit and you get a lot of the milk fat that comes up. And so I like to kind of avoid using creamer when I'm any kind of cream when I'm doing oven baked, unless it's a baked something or other. And even then I'll use like condensed milk because it's thicker. I won't really use buttermilk or half and half for heavy whipping. So I'll use something like that. I've even been known to use the goat milk, which actually has a very rich flavor if it's put in at the right time and used well.
very interesting. I don't think I've ever had goat's milk before.
Straight, it tastes funny. It really does. I'll be the first to tell you it does taste wonky if you drink it straight. But if you put it in like your churned butter, if you make like real butter and stuff, goat's milk's really good because it has that nice twang in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've actually used it to make cornbread, which adds a full body to the cornbread. And so anytime I don't have regular milk, I always keep cans of goat's milk and condensed milk in my pantry.
Good to know. I didn't know that. Yeah.
It was really helpful during COVID when we couldn't find milk.
Oh, I bet. I'm sure. I'm sure. It's just a shortage on everything. My goodness, we're still experiencing shortages. It's nuts.
We are too. We're pretty short here.
Do you ground up the corned beef in your shepherd's pie?
Well, I use what's known as I use the block corned beef. So most of the time I use it. It falls apart on its own. So I don't ground up anything really. It flakes and falls apart itself, and the meat itself becomes a more natural crumbly state. So I don't ever have to really ground any meat if I use corned beef, I don't use that. I don't do that. I don't really do anything artificial per se. Like I don't ground meat. Sometimes I knead it with my hands really if I do anything. So I prefer it more hands-on than actually using a grinder or anything like that.
So is it just a single layer like you would do the hamburger in traditional, or is it just it's mixed together, or?
I watch it fall apart. Like corned beef in and of itself will just naturally crumble apart, and then that's when you use the juices of the meat inside of it to create other flavors. So really, it literally is more like a pot roast than it is a shepherd's pie, simply because I don't really force the food to do anything. I just put the ingredients you're expected to have into it and some other stuff that if I feel like putting it in there, or substitute if I need to. So substitution is something that came into handy during COVID because there was so much that was not present. So if you haven't learned substituting, that's something I always recommend to study, because if you get put into a situation where you don't have what you need, having that knowledge of, oh, okay, so-and-so will play so-and-so makes it less stressful. Like, oh my God, I got to run out to the store, call my husband when he's coming home from work.
Yeah. Is there anything that you absolutely will not make?
Ooh, sauerkraut.
Oh, good
Well,
answer. Good answer.
will not do it. Cannot do it.
Oh,
I am leery of Christmas fruitcakes. Um,
okay. I don't eat them either. So,
oh no, I will not touch a store-bought fruitcake. No, no way. But I am leery of them because of what is. I look at it and I'm like, I have no idea what happened for somebody to make this particular thing because it is so full of spices. I'm like, calm down a little. This is Christmas. You want sugar.
right. Yeah.
Sugar plums dancing in your head, not spice plums. It's like I want sugar, honey, syrup.
Yeah.
So I'm leery of Christmas fruitcake, and I will not, absolutely will not make sauerkraut. I can't stand the smell. I'm sorry. I have very hypersensitive senses, and I can't stand certain smells.
I'm sorry for those who like sauerkraut. I know a couple of you people do. I don't. It's disgusting. Yeah.
For
So,
me, it really is the smell. I just like,
yeah. Yep. I've had it. I have tried it, but yeah, no, thank you. That's no. I had a relative that made that stuff all the time, and it just stunk up the whole house. Oh, horrible. I think he made it with kielbasa. Is it kielbasa?
Oh, kielbasa. I love kielbasa sausage. Oh, it's delicious.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, you're like me. I like that stuff. Yeah. But obviously, you probably eat the real stuff because I eat the store-bought stuff.
When I am forced to, that's another beauty of substitution. When I'm forced to get something that is prepackaged, I actually know the ingredients in it, and I know what is hiding in it. So where, like you might pick up a thing of meat that said, "Oh, this is an all natural flavor,"
Yeah.
but here's the problem: you turn it over and you start seeing, instead of high fructose corn syrup, you pick up things like dextrose, corn syrup solids, things like that. It's like, nope. Gotcha. So I always look at the ingredients, and that comes with reading what is being used by big companies to fool you, because technically they're right, they're not lying, but they use substitutions that might as well just put the other thing in there. So that's another thing I would really keep an eye on. And I don't let my kids eat anything with high fructose corn syrup in it. If anytime I drink sodas, it gives me a headache. So I won't let them eat anything with that stuff in it. So I'm very, very conscious about what they put in their mouths. So I wish I knew that stuff when I was their age. I would have stopped myself and slapped myself from getting those candies.
Right. Yeah. And speaking of children, I'm pretty sure you make snacks.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. One of the snacks that is really big on the holidays is my candied walnuts and pecan mix, because I actually spice them. I do the sugar, I do the honey, and I do the normal thing that you put on them, and maple. Of course, I put maple, but I also add like chili powder and little things you wouldn't expect to go into the sweetness. So those are really popular. I gave those out as a white elephant gift, and my mom didn't let me bring home the pan.
Oh.
She's like, nope, you're leaving that there. I'm like, okay.
Oh my goodness. And is that what the kids enjoy?
I usually make them like mixed trail mixes. Like I'll get like dried fruit, nuts, things like that, and then I'll home make our own trail mixes. And my kids like to eat those. My daughter really loves the sun colored. I call them Lou raisins. They're the gold ones that I put them with walnuts, and she loves the salted, and then I'll salt and pepper them, and she loves to eat them when she doesn't catch me with my hand in the food bowl.
Oh my goodness.
She's actually gotten to the habit of, she'll go up to my son and she'll be like, "That's gross. It's unhealthy. Why are you eating that?" She's something.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, they could be eating worse stuff, right? You know?
Oh yeah. I feel horrible because I enjoy some of the stuff that they have, like those little muffins in the bags. I actually will not let them eat those, save for a special time because I know what's in them. But I feel horrible because as a mom, you want them to have those every once in a while get that nice sweet tooth. But it's just like as somebody who knows what's in there, it's like if it's not organic, you ain't touching it, or plant based. Or I love plant based. I could eat a plant based anything. Like so, if it's not something like that, I'll be like, oh, put it down.
So what? I'm afraid to ask what happens on trick or treat.
I let them have it. Halloween is very important to our kids, so I let them. That's one of those days like I let them cheat. It's like go ahead, whatever.
Yeah.
So
okay.
That's a very special holiday for me too. So it's just. Of course, I always do bake something like some sort of bread. So sometimes they'll forgo the candy and go for the bread I make. So it's a win-win because they love my banana bread. So so I've started being a little sneaky. Now, do you want this or do you want that? It's like, oh, I want bread. Okay.
Very interesting. So I ask every guest since the pandemic has unfortunately happened. Since the pandemic, besides the cooking, has there anything, have you been doing anything that you normally would not do because of the pandemic? Any secret habits, a show you've been binge watching, or any besides Chopped?
I actually do not have access to Chopped anymore.
Oh no.
We don't have TV at our house. We have streaming services. So.
Oh.
So as far as honestly, it's given me a bunch of positive stuff to do that I normally wouldn't have any time to do.
Right.
But as far as that little secret sin, I am a horrible fan of Lucifer on Netflix. I am the biggest Tom Ellis stalker. And if he ever sees this video, I do not care. I will let him know.
I think what I might have to do is tag him and see if he responds. That would be cool. Oh, yeah, I like that show too.
Yes, I love Lucifer.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Heather just said, what? If y'all answered, I didn't hear. My video froze.
Oh, she asked about the ground beef.
Oh, I'm sorry, Heather. Yeah. Oh, just rewatch it, Heather. You know you will. So.
I know. I'm going to share it.
Yeah, everyone needs to like and share this video, please. So if you have, can anyone get in contact with you to ask you questions about food or?
Oh my gosh, yes. I am all over the place. I'm at Twitter. I'm on Twitter at B Ramsay Author. I'm on Instagram, obviously at Jazzy Gator, and you can get me anytime because I do have notifications on my phone. You can email me at any time at bramsayauthor@gmail.com. You can email our publishing company if you have any questions about that part of it. There's really not really any time you can't get a hold of us if you don't want to, or me personally, because I love to talk to people. I used to hate social media, but for my first part of my career, I did not have social media. Let me tell you, I did on-foot networking. So no, I love social media now. I've learned how to use it as it should be used. And I've met so many interesting people. And so you can get a hold of me on my Twitter. You can get a hold of me on Instagram. You can get a hold of me via email. It's really not any way you can't get a hold of me.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Yeah. So, and I did put your page on our Facebook page. I don't know if you got the tag, but I did tag you. So, yeah. So everyone can find her page right on my page. So, and I will make sure to add. No, I did put your Instagram on there as well. So, and people don't forget to Instagram. So, Blaise, it's been fantastic talking to you about food. You have enlightened me more. So obviously I'm going to have you on again because I'm pretty sure that they won't get over this topic anytime soon because apparently my people here like talking about food as well. Anything that brings them joy and comfort, I guess. And food does that. So it is a win-win. So yeah.
I would love to. I love to. I have appeared on a few shows a couple of times, so I'd love to talk again. Like I said, food. I can ramble. I really could ramble
Yeah.
about food. So any time that anyone wants to ramble about food, I'd love to talk.
Absolutely. And I love food myself, so I could talk about it all day long as well. So all right. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and I will definitely have to have you on again. And we've pretty much told everyone where they can find you. If they have any questions or want to follow you on Instagram, look at all the great food. So I know I did. So I'm hungry now all over again. So yeah. All right. Well, that is pretty much it. So
Well, thank you for having me. I'm very honored you had me.
Absolutely. So that is it. Oh, everyone. Wow, you guys are quick to leave me already. My goodness. It's Friday. I hope everyone enjoys the weekend. And I will see everyone back here on Thursday.
Awesome. I'll have to come watch some more and see if I can drop in some comments.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. I have, and it's funny because I've been doing this by myself since February this year. I've done it for a total of 4 or 5 years now. I used to have a co-host on a different show, but I kind of went my own way. So, and I have to say that I have met the most interesting people ever since doing this myself. And this whole video thing is new to me as well, because I did online radio, which was a phone number I had to dial into and be live on the air via a phone number or something. But people could never see me, and I liked that fact. But now I'm all over the place now. So yeah, there's no hiding anymore. So I love it. All right, everyone. Well, have a fantastic weekend. You have a fantastic weekend.
Oh, I definitely will.
I'm pretty sure you'll be cooking up something good while I'm working,
yeah.
unfortunately. So, all right. That is it, everyone. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Very important. So, yeah. All right. I'm going to go now.
Alrighty.
Thank you again.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
That is it. So, Blaise, thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure talking with you. And I think that went a lot better, I think. So she was really interested to talk to, at least. So Ashley on Steph, my grandmother, Sandy, Daniel Payton, I really do have to go. I did go over, unfortunately. Didn't think I was going to, but now I'm going to switch over to Daniel's show. So everyone have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you back here next Thursday. Goodbye.